Welcome back to RFC News, guys. We have got the live Europa League round of 16 draw that we're going to be watching and reacting to, seeing who Rangers, of course, get in the next round. But we're going to use the build-up to it to talk about the two teams that we can, of course, get. I'm going to take some of your thoughts and opinions on the potential takeover that's currently going on and around the Rangers space. So yeah, let's discuss everything, guys. As always, get involved in the live chat, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and let me know who you want in the round of 16. Bodo Glimt or Fenerbahce? Again, as stated, let me know in the old comments section below. So, we're about 14 minutes away from the Europa League draw from actually starting. Yeah, we can play one of two teams. So I thought I'd give you a little brief background, keep you up to date with regard to the teams that we could get. And as stated, make sure you let me know who you want in the live chat. We can discuss this momentarily. But of course, the first team that we could probably get is Fenerbahce. They are one of the options. Fenerbahce, obviously under the stewardship, under the management currently of Jose Mourinho, and they are doing well this season. You know, Fenerbahce are currently second in the Turkish Super League, 7 points behind Galatasaray, but Galatasaray have been near perfect so far this season. Fenerbahce have been fantastic as well since the sort of turn of the year, and you'd have to go all the way back to the 11th of December where they actually last lost the game, and that was in the Europa League against Atletico Bilbao. Some of their recent Europa League results have been, of course, beating Anderlecht on aggregate, of course, 5-2, actually drawing last night 2-2 in Belgium, but of course did get the job done pretty much in Istanbul after beating Anderlecht 3-0. Previously to that, they drew against Michelin. Previously to that, they drew against Lyon. And yeah, I mean, it's not been the best of form from Fenerbahce so far in the Europa League, but if you're looking at the Turkish Super League, they've certainly been fantastic so far this season. Jose Mourinho, of course, is an expert at navigating European competition. You know, if he's never been in the Champions League, he's been in the Europa, the Conference League, he's got to the final every single time he's actually been in that competition. So, he actually had an unbelievable record beforehand where he was just, whenever wasn't in the Champions League, if he was in the Europa League or the Conference League, he actually went on to win the competition. However, that record stopped when he lost to Sevilla narrowly in the final back in 2023. But regardless, still has a fantastic record within the Europa and the Europa Conference League. So probably fans would say this is the one to avoid. However, the fan in me wants to see... I like Turkish football. I like the Turkish clubs in terms of I'm pretty fascinated about them. I really want to go to Turkey and see all of the stadiums. I quite like Turkish football. I don't say I watch it, but I quite admired of their clubs, how big they are, Fenerbahce, Galatasaray, Besiktas, all of these kind of things. So yeah, I mean, that's a tie that I would really want us to potentially have, but of course having Jose Mourinho is probably the one that would be the hardest one to navigate. Now this team here, of course, Bodo Glimt. Now this could get slightly embarrassing if we were to get knocked out by Bodo Glimt, because they knocked out Celtic and we gave them loads of crap for it back in 2022 in the Europa Conference League. But Bodo Glimt have had their fair share of big victories recently within Europe. I think they smashed Roma. In fact, Jose Mourinho's Roma at one point as well. They beat Spurs, I think, as well. And last night beat FC Twente, who are a decent side, of course. Dutch side 5-2 after losing 2-1 to them in the first leg. Now, the thing is with Bodo Glimt, their season hasn't actually started. I think they're in pre-season at this moment in time, just due to the way that their season goes. They're currently, of course, doing pre-season, so we might be catching them at the right time if we were to play them, but their pitch, the plastic pitch, is certainly something that they use to their advantage, and have done so recently over the last couple of years, especially in this competition. So the away tie against Bodo is something that would probably be a testing one for us, but a team that we could certainly beat at Ibrox. But both of them, if you want to go far in this competition, then both of them Rangers should be winning and should be getting the job over and done against them. So yeah, those are the two options, I suppose, Bodo Glimt and Fenerbahce. Who would you choose? I'm looking at the poll at this moment in time, and most people have voted towards Bodo Glimt, which a huge 80% of the votes have said Bodo Glimt, of course, the Norwegian team. So people sitting on that fence, thinking that it would be an easier tie. again, we'll certainly find out very, very soon. Let's have a little look. Good to see everybody tuning in. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you hit the old like, hit the subscribe, and we can discuss anything you want. My goodness me, there's a helicopter going over my apartment building right now, so sorry for any noise. Bloody hell. Wow. Yeah, Celtic fans tuning in. What time? Who did you get in the Champions League, by the way, Celtic fans? That was an hour ago. Oh, shit, yeah, I forgot you weren't in there. Only team in Scotland left within Europe. Rangers flying the flag, as always. So, yeah, I mean, this could even get better if the takeover happens. Guys, the latest on the takeover, of course, is that reports are stating that this could now be a matter of weeks, not months, and can be concluded very, very quickly. So, very exciting times in the Rangers space. To be fair, I've just constantly been checking my phone to see if we're any closer to the takeover happening, but certainly feels very, very real and something I'm getting extremely, extremely excited about as the day goes on, or as the days go on. So, yeah, the more I read about it, the more I get excited about the proposition, of course, of the San Francisco 49ers Enterprises taking over Glasgow Rangers. Make Rangers great again. Right, let's take some comments, guys. Come on, has anyone got anything of note to ask? Paul McCrory says, give us a Wi-Fi password, lol. I mean, Celtic got beat by them. I think they got pumped by them, to be fair, back in the Europa Conference League. So it would be slightly embarrassing if we matched that result this time around. So that's part of the reason why I wouldn't want to get Bodo Glimt. The reason why I don't really want Bodo Glimt as such is because of that away tie. Either one, I think it's going to be the away tie is going to be tough. Look, going to Bodo Glimt, I think it's freezing cold. I mean, Scotland doesn't really matter as much anyway. But that plastic pitch, and we're shocking away from home, it'll probably give us PTSD of a Scottish Premiership game, the way that match would be. So it's something that I would rather avoid. However, again, I don't know how it works. Are we playing home first? Or I think we're seeded, so I think we play home second. So we'd have to go away from home and then play at Ibrox afterwards. So either way, it would be really, really tough. The thing with the Istanbul thing is Jose Mourinho's record. He doesn't really lose these knockout ties in the Europa League. So it's something, you know, it feels like a star-studded team with regard to Fenerbahce, and a team and a manager certainly that knows how to navigate it. What I would say about Bodo, they're a very attacking incentive team. They're a side that would go after us and probably rattle our defence a little bit, to be perfectly honest with you. They would probably cause our defence problems away from home especially. But with the thing with Fenerbahce and the way that Jose Mourinho sets up in terms of his style of play, I think that would suit us more, actually. We wouldn't have to deal with the defence getting overloaded too much by Jose Mourinho's tactics. So, yeah, that would probably be in favour. So maybe I'm being a little bit silly, but I kind of want Fenerbahce over Bodo Glimt. That might sound daft, but I don't know. It's just my theory on it. I think it would be better suited for a game against Fenerbahce. I think we would, yeah. Paul McCorrell says Bodo is a different team and the season hasn't started yet. Again, that's also something in my head as well. I do think that, well, because their season hasn't started, it's something that could work out in our favour. I just don't like that plastic pitch, and I just don't think we've got a good record on that plastic pitch. And I just think it would give us a bit of PTSD. You know, we've been shocking in the Scottish Premiership so far this season away from home. Their style of play as well, ruffling our defence's feathers. I don't know if it was suited for it, but we'll find out. I mean, they've gave FC 20 a really good game. They pumped them 5-2 last night. So, I don't know. I'm split on it. But either way, if we want to go far, it's a good draw either way for a round of 16 game. if you're looking at it, a round of 16 match, getting either one of those two, that's not too bad. That's not too bad, really, to be thinking about it. And then we play, Olympiacos or them in the quarterfinal, I think. I'm not too sure, I can't remember. But we'll find out the path a little bit later on. But regardless, I still think either one would be good for us in a round of 16 game. But if we want to go to the final, we're putting all our eggs in one basket with regard to the Europa League. We've got to do it. We've got to beat the teams that are in front of us and beat these sort of sides as well. Terrible having a plastic pitch should never be allowed, especially in UEFA competition. I know Iber, young boys of Bern, have the plastic pitch. That's always a famous European ground you go to with the plastic pitch. So yeah, I mean, they should be banned in Europe at least. I think they should be banned in all top flight football, but some countries want to have them. Like Norway, they kind of need to have it because of the weather is absolutely shocking up there. But in Europe, I don't think it should be allowed. I don't think we should be having plastic pitches in UEFA competitions. But yeah. Right, we're about 4 minutes away to go. Does anyone want to talk a little bit about takeover stuff? Takeover stuff. Very exciting stuff within the Rangers space. Takeover news. Something I'm getting really excited about that could potentially happen with Rangers. We could be under new ownership very, very soon. And the more you read into it, the more you get excited about the potential impact that could happen at the football club going into next season. Especially if they're taking over as a majority shares. I would be absolutely buzzing. So here's hoping. Mini Maestro says Bodo Glimt would be killing away on steroids. Avoid. I get what you mean, Mini Maestro. I genuinely get what you mean. I've spoke about it. And that's why, weirdly enough, I'm going with Fenerbahce. Weirdly enough, I'm going with Fenerbahce. The only thing putting me off Fenerbahce, as well, the game in Istanbul, they'll be losing two of their key players because of suspension. So they'd be missing Fred, and they'd be missing somebody else as well who's a key player. So if we can go to Fenerbahce, keep it tight, keep it clean, keep it draw, whatever it is, just make sure they don't score too many goals or whatever, just get a result there, a draw, narrow loss, whatever, come back to Ibrox and give them a go. And we're capable of certainly doing that, especially when they come to Ibrox. I think we can beat anyone at Ibrox, but I just think Bodo would cause us problems. I do. And it would be embarrassing. It would be embarrassing. Marco Fergo says it can only get better for Rangers with regard to the takeover. I'm excited. I'm hoping to hear a bit more information soon as well. But we'll see as the day goes on. But guys, if you are just tuning in, I hope you're all well. Do get involved in the old live chat. Do let me know how you're feeling about the upcoming draw. And let me know anything you want with regard to Rangers stuff. I'm just getting the draw up now as we speak. And yeah, let's see where we're at. Europa League, here we go. Round of 16 draw. Oh, fucking ad, man. Jeez out. Says it will start in a minute. Happy days. We need to remember that there won't be a massive pot of gold available straight away, but the new shirt sponsors and commercial deals will bring in more money. No, exactly. I just think as well at the same time, right? I don't care too much about the golden pot of money, really. I just want people that care, have new methods, and can evolve this football club to bring it up to date with the modern times, you know? Just get an established player trading model into place, getting us competitive, people that actually want to win trophies. Now, again, you can say what you want about Dave King, and you can say what you want about these guys, Douglas Park and all these guys. Yes, they're Rangers men. Yes, they're supporters like us. Great. But they don't do anything. You know, they're old dinosaurs that kind of just sit about. I appreciate what Dave King did for the football club, but he's been stepped down since 2019. He just owns shares. And he's the majority shareholder. He's not doing anything for the football club, you know? Like, regardless of what you say, he can come on to Talk Sport and talk about all his stuff, all he likes. He doesn't do anything for the football club, neither do any of these dinosaurs that still own shares. So I want a more proactive approach and an owner that's hands-on. And this guy is hands-on and will be there with his own hands and assembling his own team, and we wanted to see what Rangers will look like and will make us competitive. Leeds are top of the championship right now. They're doing very, very well. And this big shirt sponsor that everyone's talking about, the £60 million deal from Red Bull. This is huge. It was unprecedented for a side in the championship. So, yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy. What I want is investment without stripping the club of its identity. Rangers prides itself on deeply rooted British club, but in a way that holds us back, we need to strike a balance. Absolutely. We've always got to come to the modern era, and you're 1,000% right. And these guys will do that. David says that down the board do care, but they don't know what they're doing, in my opinion. Yeah, I do. I genuinely do think they care. I do think they care, but they don't do anything. They don't necessarily do anything. They're old dinosaurs, and this is not against anyone that's old, but football's changed. You know, you've got to keep up to date with everything. It's different. You know, you've got to get a fresh impetus of ideas and get things into the place and modernize everything. We're still operating back in 2003 or something like that, you know? It's all changed. It's all changed. And we've got to operate and be at the forefront of modern football. The Europa League thing's started, by the way. So for those of you just tuning in, we are going to be telling you who we're getting. We're just waiting for it to start. Yeah, he's talking shit. Talking about the round of 32, actually, to be fair.
Which side of the bracket will teams be drawn into? That's what we're about to find out. Just 3 ties standing between them in the final.
3 ties standing between us in the final! Yeah, I'm going to get carried away. Sorry. Europa League. I mean, I would love to be going to Bilbao. It'd be fantastic. I loved Seville at the time I was out there. Amazing. But the teams currently left in the competition, guys, are Lazio. Going to be going through all the teams now. Atletico Bilbao, another team that are still currently in the competition. Don't have to worry about them just yet. But if you're looking at the teams, I think Rangers can actually beat any of these teams. Man U. Surely Man U. Man U will go out in the next round. Man U won't get further than that. Yes, Kyle Chapman. I swear you guys used to do pranks in Cornwall. I did, back in the day, mate. Yeah, I did. Why do you say? That was my pride and joy, that bad boy. But unfortunately, I started doing other things. I got snowed under with more, with other work and stuff like that, especially with YouTube and other businesses that I run. And we were getting in trouble with the police, so I couldn't do it anymore. But yeah, I used to love YDSA, man. It was my pride and joy. My pride and joy. Absolutely loved it. And one day maybe we'll come back and do that again. But shout out to Kyle. Not a Rangers supporter, but I wish them well as it's good for Scotland. We do need other Scottish clubs to do better in Europe instead of going straight out in the qualifiers. Well, we don't go out in the qualifiers, Kenny Smart. You don't know your history, son, do you? 2 finals since 2008 for the Jazz. Still waiting for others. FCSB. Tone says, over 2 legs, Jose doesn't fail. No, he doesn't. He doesn't fail. He's fantastic in terms of... His record in the Europa League is great. It's great. And actually, I like Turkish football. I do like to play against Turkish teams. I really want to go to Istanbul. In terms of a football bucket list, I genuinely want to go to Istanbul and do all of the clubs within Istanbul, just do stadium tours. I don't know why, I've always been slightly fascinated with Turkish football. I don't know what it is, I just like the size of the clubs. Yeah, I don't know, kind of iconic clubs in a way as well. So yeah, I would like to go to Istanbul. I'm probably going to do that trip at some point next year maybe. But yeah. Or shall I fly back? Actually, I'm not too far away from Istanbul right now. In fact, guys, let's have a little look at this. I might, if we get Fenerbahce, I might do a little trip to Istanbul. I just forgot that I'm actually very close to Istanbul right now. Well, I'm not that close, but I'm rather close. Mini Maestro says, our scouting department has modernised and broadened the nets. Look at the success of Egoman linked to players from all different leagues. It's just that everything else is stuck in the past. Exactly. We are getting better with the recruitment. We just need to put it on steroids a little bit more, I think. Guys, we are getting closer to the draw, by the way. Don't worry, I'm not just rabbiting on for the sake of it. We're just waiting for this guy to start getting the balls out. Not like that, but you know what I mean. Ryan says Fenerbahce is a step too far for Rangers. Well, I don't necessarily. I mean, we beat Galatasaray like 2 or 3 years ago, and Galatasaray are the best team in Istanbul. Not to mean that I favour them, so Turkish fans don't come at me, for God's sakes. But they are the best in the league. They win the titles 2 times on the bounce. Well, they're going to win the title 2 times on the bounce. So yeah, I would say Galatasaray. We beat Galatasaray before, so why not? Can beat Fenerbahce, lad. To be fair, Fenerbahce haven't been that great in Europe this year. I'm not going to lie. Like, I like Fenerbahce, and I like Jose. I'm a big Jose man. I do like Jose Mourinho. I'm a big fanboy of him. So wherever he goes, I do watch out for him and want him to do well. But if you look at their record in the Europa League, I mean, they drew to Antalya last night. Yes, they got the job done in Istanbul, beat them 3-0. But, 2-2 to FC Midtjylland, 0-0 to Lyon, 2-0 loss to Atletico Bilbao, 3-1 loss to AZ Alkmaar, 1-1 draw with Man U, 1-1 draw with FC Twente. They did beat Union Saint-Gilles 2-1, but everyone is. Ajax beat them with 10 men the other night there. So they're not that great, Fenerbahce, in terms of their record so far within the Europa League competition. They're not necessarily lighting that up, and the fact that they were in the playoff round shows that. So I wouldn't be too scared of them. Domestically, fantastic. They're doing really, really well. It's just a shame, I suppose, that Galatasaray are 7 points clear, but Galatasaray have been absolutely unbelievable so far this season as well. So, it's just one of those. Thank you, Kyle. I'll pass that on to Luke. We might have something coming up soon with regard to that. Maybe one day. Who knows? But thank you for your kind words. Oasis Wooly says no team will want to draw us. Fat. Agree? Especially Ibrox. Ibrox is one of those stadiums. I just think anyone that comes to Ibrox we can beat. No problem at all. I genuinely do believe that. And that's not me being deluded. You can say what you want about Rangers so far this season. No one will want to come to Ibrox. You seen it with Leipzig. You've seen it with loads of teams that have come to Ibrox, and they just go under. They just go completely under. They can't handle it. But we're still hearing this guy rabbiting on a little bit. We're not too far away from the draw from happening, but I do remember. Colin says, I heard that King is happy regarding the 49ers bid, but this, as Park is quoted, says he wants to negotiate regarding his shares. I really dislike Park. Mate, he's a dinosaur, man. He's a dinosaur, and not to mention his frame. He needs to work out. I'm not being horrible to Douglas Park, but my goodness me, man, he needs to hit the gym for his own health's sake, to be perfectly honest with you. But Douglas Park, yeah, I mean, the guy's a dinosaur. He's holding everybody back. I like Dave King because he's doing stuff for the football club. He's doing things. He cares. He came back. He didn't really want to necessarily be the man that was chairman of Rangers at the time and got us going. So it's good to see that he's swiftly trying to put this one through. But I hope Douglas Park ain't hanging holding his back, so I'll be stuck with him for the rest of the time. No way. Muppet. No, he doesn't know what he's going on about. Billy says, do you think we could beat Madrid or Barca at iBox? Also, what are the other draws looking like so far? Nothing. The draw hasn't started yet, guys. I'll keep you up to date with every single draw as soon as it started. We're just hearing these Muppets talk for ages, talking about their glory times in their career. But I think we're about to get underway. I'll keep you up to date with all of the draws that happen until the end of it. Bella says, we don't do right well on plastic pitches in general, so it'd be a trip to Turkey for me. It would be a trip for Turkey for me as well. It would be. I would want to go to Turkey. Well, let me hear the rules of this thing quick.
At the knockout phase playoff round. In the round of 16 draw, the teams finishing the league phase in positions 1 to 8 who qualified directly to this round will be drawn into the bracket against the winners of the knockout phase playoff matches. The draw will be conducted in accordance with the following principles. The teams directly qualified to the round of 16 are seeded and are paired according to their league phase rankings. So the teams in positions 1 and 2 are paired, teams in positions 3 and 4, and so on. The teams from each pairing are then drawn into one of the 2 pre-assigned positions in the bracket. One on the silver side, one on the orange side, against the relevant winner of the corresponding knockout phase playoff match. In principle, the seeded clubs play the return leg matches at home. To determine the matches, 4 bowls are prepared for the draw, with the balls containing the names of each pair of seeded teams placed in the corresponding marked bowls. Starting with the pairing of teams from positions 7 and 8 of the league phase, 1 ball is drawn to reveal the team.
So we'll be fast.
The first team drawn is allocated to the reserved spot on the silver side of the bracket. The other team is drawn and then allocated in the corresponding reserved spot on the orange side. The same procedure is carried out with the remaining teams to complete the pairings for the round of 16. For the quarterfinals and semi-finals, the winners of the previous
so we're going to find the quarterfinals and semi-finals. We'll find out the whole path.
For those rounds. And it is necessary.
The road to the final is here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do it. Man, I want a trip to Atletico Bilbao this year. I want a trip to Bilbao. Another trip to Spain. I don't think I've been to Spain since. Actually, I went to Menorca actually afterwards. But I haven't been to Spain since the Europa League heartbreak. Madness. Madness. Oh, mate, we're a mess. To be fair, we did get robbed. Hey, Peter, we did get robbed in that game, to be fair. We did get robbed. It was not a red card in that match. So you've always got to look at context of situations, buddy. No, but you got pumped 7-1 by Dortmund. Tim boy. Right, we're nearly there, by the way, for the start of this draw. Come on, the Jazz.
For the semi-finals, the procedure is the same. 2 bowls prepared with winners of quarter-final pairing 1 and winners of quarter-final.
So we're going to find out the whole route today, by the way, which is quite big. It's quite good. And scratch it off. Hopefully it's an easy run for us, man.
First team representing the team that will play the first leg of the semi-final at home, and the second team, the one that will host the return leg. As the teams will randomly
Come on, mate.
or the other of the bracket by virtue of the knockout phase playoffs or round of 16 draw, no draw is needed for the final. The winner of the semi-final on the silver side of the bracket will be designated as the nominal home team for the final. After the draw, if it becomes apparent that any ties are affected by city or stadium clashes, these clashes will be resolved in accordance with the principles set by the club.
Okay, we're nearly ready to go, troops. We're nearly ready to go. They're just giving the rules of the draw. But we're going to find out pretty much our whole way to Bilbao today. And we're about to get started. I think we're the first out of the hat, just to let you know. So, here we go.
Given you all the information you need now to follow these draws, and as you see, we are ready here in this all, the balls containing the pairs of the seeded teams are placed here to this side, where Aritz is ready to draw the team. I remind you that for each pair, the first team drawn will occupy the relevant position on the silver side of the bracket.
Come on,
The
Abbas!
second team will join the opponent on the orange side of the bracket.
Here we go.
Before we begin, let's take a final look at the clubs which are being drawn today, starting with the winner of the league phase, Lazio, followed by Athletic Club, Manchester United, Tottenham Hotspur,
Tottenham Hotspur.
Frankfurt, Olympique Lyonnais, Olympiacos, and Rangers FC. So this is all. We start, we go in ascending order, and we start with preparing of positions.
I can almost guarantee our draw is going to be Fenerbahce, then Spurs, then United, then Athletic. I don't think it can work like that, but we'll see now. Right, so the first name out of the hat, troops, is Olympiacos. So we're going to find out who we're getting now. We're going to find out who we're getting now. So Olympiacos are the first name out of the hat.
Never happened before. First time that
And they're playing Bodo Glimt. So we've got Fenerbahce. We've got Fenerbahce.
phase.
We've got Fenerbahce. Jose Masterclass. My goodness me.
Ahead, and now we allocate
Oh no.
so
Rangers v Fenerbahce.
is the second tie of this round of 16. The only previous meeting between these two clubs.
Oh my god. Managers. Oh mate, I might go to Istanbul.
Of the Champions League. So with this, we can go ahead, and now it's the turn of preparing.
I think that's better. Guys, mate, whatever you want to say about Bodo Glimt, I think it's better. I think it's better because I genuinely think it's better. I think we would struggle against Bodo Glimt on that plastic pitch. I genuinely do. I think this might be a blessing. I genuinely think this might be a blessing. Imagine going out to Bodo Glimt. You know, we've gave them the other side. I genuinely, I love Rangers to bits, but this team, I don't think would beat Bodo Glimt away from home. I don't think we would. But with Fenerbahce, I think Fenerbahce and the way that Jose Mourinho plays would actually suit us well. We're quite an attacking front team. I don't think our defence could handle the Bodo Glimt's attacking players just constantly going at us on that plastic pitch. But the way that Jose sets up, I think would suit us a little bit. I genuinely do. I think it would. I had an iffy feeling about Bodo Glimt that I just didn't want them. That plastic pitch, the way that they play, the fact that we're massive favourites for the game, I just don't think I would like it. It was just something iffy. I've been seeing that name Bodo Glimt causing upsets and upsets and upsets over the last 3-4 seasons now, beating teams quite comfortably, beating big teams. I just think we, in our current state, the way that our defence is right now, I think would be another casualty towards that. On the other hand, I think we're better suited to better teams. And Fenerbahce are a great team. We play in the occasion. Istanbul will be a ferocious atmosphere. And I think it will be a really, really good spectacle. And I think we will win this game. I think we'll win. I think we'll go through against Fenerbahce. I wouldn't have said the same thing against Bodo Glimt. I had a weird feeling with Bodo Glimt. But with Fenerbahce, I don't want to get ahead of myself. I think we can do that. I think we can do it. Over 2 legs, I think we can do it. So let's see what happens. Oh shit, I've just been neglecting everything, by the way. We're going to find out the semi-finals as well, the quarterfinals and semi-finals as well. And then probably at the end of this live stream, depending on how good the route is, you'll see me book my tickets to Bilbao on a live stream. Yeah? Roscoe says, the media would paint us as favourites against Bodo and our squad will shit the bed. I think so. I know people that voted in it, 80% Bodo Glimt, 72% Bodo Glimt. I don't think so. I think this is the best one for us. I really do. I really do think it's better for us. Fenerbahce play like how Scottish teams play, low block, can't see us winning that, my man. Yeah, no, not always. Jose plays with a bit more. I mean, he's not a freaking two banks of five like Scottish teams. Scottish teams are completely different to how anyone plays. They literally 10 people behind the ball. Jose's not like that completely. He's defensive-minded manager, but he's not that pragmatic that he sticks two banks of 10 down there and just sits there and hoofs the ball forward. There's a bit more quality to Fenerbahce than just, doing that and hoofing the ball forward. The way Scottish teams play are unique. That's why we struggle against them. That's why every manager struggles against them. Oh shit, we're going to have to see who we're getting in the quarters now. I think I've missed it a little bit. 2 seconds. Let me see where we're at. So Ajax and Frankfurt in the quarters. Let's see who we can play. Winners of round 16, 6-6. No, mate. I've just got a cold or something. Right, here we go. Our name's out. Here we go. A quarter-final, guys, is... So, if we win against Fenerbahce, we'll play either Roma or Athletic Club. I mean, that's quite a tough tie, to be fair. Roma or Athletic Club in the quarterfinals. I mean, that's tough. That is freaking tough as a quarterfinal. But doable. So if we beat Fenerbahce, guys, Roma or Athletic Club. I don't know who I'd want out of those two. Either way, I just want to focus on Fenerbahce first anyway. But Roma or Athletic Bilbao. Athletic Bilbao is the quarterfinal. Tough. And maybe it's written in the stars for Jose going against Jose's former team. Hopefully not. Hopefully we can flip the script there. So now we're going to find out who we're getting in the semi-final. We're going to find out who we're getting in the semi-final now. Oh my god! I think we're actually on the right side, to be fair. Let's have a little look. To be fair, we're avoiding those English teams that are quite favourites. I'd rather keep away from the battles of Britain. I don't want any more of those. So who are we getting in the semi-final?
Winners of quarterfinal 3, Fenerbahce or Rangers or Roma or Athletic Club to play at home match 1 of the semi-final.
So semi-final, we've basically got, I'm saying semi-final as if we're freaking there, but basically if this happens, we would have in the semi-finals. No, I don't even know. It's not even coming up. It's too far gone. But we're playing Fenerbahce. If we beat Fenerbahce, then we're playing either Roma or Athletic Bilbao. And then I'll try and see where we are for the semi-final bracket. There we go. Let's see the lineup of it. See what side of the bracket we're on. So yeah, basically if we beat them... So basically in the semi-final, we'll either have FCSB, Lyon, Real Sociedad or Man U. Mate, that's not even that bad. We would avoid Frankfurt to the final. Would avoid Ajax, which I think is good. Would avoid... Hey, not bad. Not bad. I think the quarterfinal would be the toughest game. But let's deal with Fenerbahce. Let's deal with Fenerbahce first. Anyway, that's me. That's what we've gone through it all. That's the Europa League draw, guys. Fenerbahce. We beat Fenerbahce. We played Roma or Atletico Bilbao. And then the semi-finals, 1 of 4 teams, which I can't remember now. Manchester United, FCSB, Lyon, or something like that. So, doable. But let's beat Fenerbahce. Let's get Istanbul. And I'm going to book my tickets to Bilbao. I'll see you all later.